Welcome back to Sacred Success Salon, where we are speaking to our amazing guest experts about leading and thriving in 2023 and forward. I am your host, Anna Kowalska, and today I am really delighted to introduce you to and have this conversation with our guest, Christina Rice. Hi, Christina.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
I'm excited to have you. So let me just say a couple of words about who you are. You guys can read everything else, all the amazing information about Christina below the video, but let me just give you an insight so you know who you're paying attention to. Christina is a best-selling author. She's a founder of Ahai. Am I saying it right? Ahai. Okay.
Yeah, hi.
7D energy healing. She's also intuitive channel, energy healer, author of Manifestation Mystery, How to Shift Your Reality and Co-Create with the Universe. Everything, all the other goodness, which there's so much to talk about, you can read again right below the video. I want to get into the meat of it. So, Christina, there is a mission that you knew you were going to lead in the world, something bigger for you to do, which you are clearly doing right now and doing it so successfully. But what I'm asking for is that moment, the moment, any moment, when you realize that before you can lead something in the world, you first get to lead yourself. Can you share that with us?
Yeah, I told you before, I've been thinking about two different moments, and to be honest, they connect. And so
Right.
I kind of would like to connect both of those moments.
Perfect.
And because the first started when I was in college, and I started my business really young, at a really young age. I had a chronic illness, I had a near-death experience, my body was shutting down, and I was told from every doctor that I was just gonna die. And I was 20 years old, and for me, that was the first moment of realizing I had to fight for myself. I had to lead myself. I had to research myself. I had to heal myself. And that is what led me down the path of holistic nutrition and energy work, and really opened me up to the whole spiritual space. Before that, I was not in that whole world. And because I had that really intense experience of like, I had to lead myself or I was going to die at that moment, my whole perspective and personality changed. And I felt like that really primed me for the next moment that really connects with what you had just mentioned before of like, what does it look like for me to really lead myself? Where, a few years later, or about 5 years later, I was struggling with my health again. And I had been working as an energy healer and a channel for a while. And I was like, what is going on here? And that is when I downloaded Ahai, which is another form of energy work. It's a specific frequency that's anchored in the seventh dimension. And I downloaded this whole system and had a lot of confusion around, wait, am I really supposed to like bring this forward and share this with people? I feel like it's going to trigger people. What do I do with this? It felt like a big job. And I knew that that was a huge part of my mission. And so I was learning to work with it, and attuning people. And for me, I think about, had I not had that previous experience when I was younger and really learned to just show up for myself and not worry about what other people thought, I probably wouldn't have had the confidence to bring Ahai forward. And since I have, I mean, it's life-changing. I witness miracle healings every single day of my life, things that people don't even believe are possible. And I think that's what it really means to be a leader at this time on the planet. We are in this period where we are downloading new technology, energy technology, 3D technology, 5D technology, new templates, new ways of doing business, new ways of relating. Everything has to upgrade and change. And we have to realize that we are the people that's going to bring it forward. And I think a lot of people are waiting for other people to tell them what to do. We are the ones paving the path. So every single person watching this, what's the thing that's unique for you, the thing that you're bringing through, and you think, well, no one's ever talked about that before, done that before. That's the thing you're supposed to bring forward, And so it was for me when I downloaded Ahai, and then since working with that, teaching more people how to use it, attuning people, that's been really life-changing. And that started with me leading myself to be able to do that.
Wow, you just shared so much amazingness. I'm like, where do I even, because what you shared is, first of all, at the young age, you realized nobody's coming to save me. I better do this myself. I mean, right there and then, that's like a huge step that I know a lot of people are right now awakening to, right? So up until now, even if they did some of spiritual work, even if they did some personal growth work, they to a new level are awakening to the fact that, you know what? Government is not coming to save you. Your parents aren't coming to save you, no matter how old you are. Like you really, we get to step forward with ourselves and for ourselves. And what I love, and this is where I want to take us now. I love that you said that there is something you're bringing in unique that you don't, there is no blueprint for. So let's take our conversation there, because I think you are the person, I just got chills all over. You are the person that's going to bring this conversation forward. Everybody wants a blueprint and a guarantee. I don't care how much work they've done. Most people still are looking for a blueprint. Like, tell me what to do. Tell me how to do this. And then tell me that I'm going to be okay doing it and bringing it to the world. And what I heard you share is I downloaded this thing, and I'm totally going to paraphrase. I'm going to sound cuckoo if I bring it to the world.
Yeah.
I have no proof that it works other than my own experience. And did I even make it up? Maybe I had green juice yesterday and woke up feeling better. Like, I know that's true for me, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm like, can I trust it? So talk to us about it. How did you then gain enough confidence to say, all right, I have to bring this forward?
Yeah. You know, a lot of my contracts in this lifetime have taught me the lessons I needed to have confidence in myself. If everybody thought I was making something up or they were doubting me. So that's something I'm really used to from a young age. I'm used to being the person that's saying things where people are saying that's crazy, I don't believe you. And then it comes back around and there's sort of an I told you so moment. I don't usually say that, but it speaks for itself. And especially with my health issues. That whole period of time, everybody was telling me I was lying and making things up and doing it to myself. My doctors were telling me I was lying because they couldn't figure out the answer.
Yeah.
And so I built a thick skin of, I don't care what anybody else says, I know my truth. And I have learned to show, don't tell. So I don't worry about what people are saying. And I always say I'm allergic to convincing people. I don't have time for it. I don't care to do it because results speak for themselves. And so I started using this energy on myself. I needed to figure it out. And then I started using it with clients. And I mean, the number of people who didn't have to go into surgery anymore, whose physical body, they were healing overnight. I was playing with, I remember when I first downloaded this, I got a burn mark on my neck from my curling iron. And then I ended up getting another one on the other side from my curling iron. It was a crazy week. And I thought, let me put this to the test. And I did. I used Ahai on one of them and I let the other one just heal naturally. And the one that I used Ahai on healed within about a day and a half. And the other one was there for about 2 weeks. And so for me, it's been more about just over time practicing, like the same way, how do you build confidence in your psychic gifts to begin with? You use them and you see how it pans out. Right. And so for me, it was just I've done so many readings and so many healings, and I always bring in a lot of clients and just seeing it work. And for me, it's, just seeing people come in and what their experience is and how it's supporting them. I've had a lot of clients stop using plant medicine. People say that they don't do ayahuasca anymore. I have nothing against any of that, but it's just another tool and it's really powerful. And I know a lot of energy workers, and this is how I was feeling. I felt like I had outgrown my modality, which makes sense. If we're using modalities that are more third dimensional oriented, as our bodies shift and our frequency rises, we need a higher frequency technology, right? And this is going to be true in every area of our lives. And so we're the ones that are bringing this down right now. But for me, it's just, the proof is in the pudding. Like, you go out there and you use it and you show people. And for me, I go out there and live it. I have built multiple very successful companies at a very young age. People see like houses I've bought and things I've done. And for me, it's just, I'm living my life and people are watching and they ask me how, and I'll be honest, how. And I believe energy work is at the root of all of it. Right. But that it has really taught me, when it comes to leadership, like, how often do we outsource our decisions to people, right? Like what you were saying of, no one's going to save me. And I think that sometimes we can even unintentionally get in that type of relationship with mentors or even with our spirit guides, right?
Yes.
That where people are like, spirit guides, tell me what to do. No, your spirit guides are there to support you, but we're the ones in control, right? And so for me, bringing this down, I was like, give me the roadmap. What do you want me to do? Just tell me what to do. And they said, we're not going to tell you what to do. We're teaching you how to use this, but you're the one who's going to decide how to bring this forward. You're the one who's going to decide like, what's the best way to bring this to the world. And I realized, wow, like I was still in this energy of, almost like teacher student, or I want you guys to tell me what to do. I was outsourcing my decisions. And for me, that experience really called me up into realizing like I am the co-creator of my reality, and I'm the one that's deciding how I want to bring this forward, you know. And I think especially for this type of audience, I'm sure people can feel that way of like, let me just ask source, let me just ask my guides, like, what do I do? You decide, like you create your reality. And that's super important for us to realize.
Yeah, I can sense how powerfully grounded you are in that. And you are absolutely right. People use, I mean, I was there at some point, and I still love pulling tarot cards, but I don't pull tarot cards for the information. I pull it more for guidance of like, what's the direction that I maybe am not seeing, right? But I love that you are saying it. It is ultimately up to me, up to you, up to the one who's watching right now. Nobody is coming to tell us. And even if somebody is coming to tell us, right, like a guide, or a tarot card, we are giving our power over to something outside of us, which most of the time, tell me, I'm going to ask you this way. Sometimes I wonder if when we are in that relationship with external guidance, the unseen, right? So we are above the asking somebody else, like a coach, like we have grown beyond that, but we still use tarot cards or pendulum or anything like that. I wonder how often that's actually the fear or our subconscious programming, still programming, comes through in the answer that we get back.
Oh, totally. And I think that happens a lot. And it's almost this joke now, like with my higher self, with my guides, where a lot of the tools I used to lean on, I've gotten to this space where they just won't work. Right. So if I'm like asking a question, and I'm like to this day, right? And I'm like kind of outsourcing. I'm like, I'm too nervous to make this. Like, tell me what to do. Pendulum, tell me what to do, or my cards. And what I'll get back is so ridiculous. And I just know, I'm like, okay, it's just not going to work. Like the tools just won't even work because the guides are like, like, what do you want to do? Like my higher self, what do you want to do? Right? There's not a right or wrong. It's just you're picking a different path. And that's the thing is, you know, if I'm pulling cards or I'm using my pendulum, it really just is reflecting what's going on subconsciously, right? And so it's like, let's say I ask my pendulum and it says yes, and I secretly want it to say no. Right. When it says yes, I'm going to have that intuitive response of, oh, I want it to be no. And there's my answer, you know? And so it really is just taking that power back. And I think even you can tell, like with the questions we ask, I always talk about asking better questions when I'm training people in their spiritual abilities, because I always say the right question gives you the right answer. It's just about finding that question. That's the key that unlocks the door. And we can start to look at our questions and ask, is this question coming from an empowered place and a place of curiosity, or is it coming from a disempowered place and an outsourcing my own power sort of place, right? And so when we're asking things like, what should I do about this? Or is this person my life partner? Or am I supposed to do XYZ? It's always, am I supposed to, where we are in a place of disempowerment, to be honest, versus like, what do I need to know about this choice or this timeline, right? And so we can even just look at our questions and the evolution of our questions to start to see how that relationship is looking for us.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you for the example. I was going to ask you, give us an example, right, of what does an empowering question sound like? And it is, what do I need to know about that? So then I have more information to make a choice, right? To decide. That's so amazing. Okay, so you've built several thriving businesses, and historically in a salon, we speak about prosperity and especially money a lot, because I believe that the awakened leaders, the awakened healers, guides, just like you, really, we are meant to own the value of what we are creating, and then use it in a way that enriches everyone, right? So how, and I know you are not in that place, maybe you never were, because right now you've created much success in exchange for your beautiful work. But was there ever a time when you questioned the value, and then did you ever had any issues receiving in exchange for it?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good. I'm glad.
Oh yeah. I mean, and for me, it wasn't from a space of, I wasn't somebody who ever really resonated with the classic, like, oh, I shouldn't be making money kind of thing. Like it's spiritual, you know, that whole illusion to not make money. I've never resonated with that. But I was working so much and giving so much and wasn't making any money. And I got really resentful. And what that was my own energetic blocks to receiving, and my own subconscious beliefs that I had to work really hard. And I internalized that as I'm not good enough, because how come all of these other people around me, and I was totally comparing myself to other people in the space, where how come all these other people, are making money, and I'm creating so much that's really transforming people's lives, and I'm struggling to actually make money, and for me at the beginning, when I was younger, it was, I kept attracting a lot of people into my sphere who just wouldn't pay prices, who couldn't afford it. Right. And so I went through that. And then, I went through the whole just like overworking a lot. And I realized how it was really connected just in my life in general of I didn't feel safe to receive. I didn't trust people. I was always in my masculine energy. I was never in my feminine. My intention when I was creating things was a little off in terms of I was just creating just to create. It wasn't coming from a space of, or it was more from a space of I need to produce this rather than what do I want to create and what fills me up. Right. And so for me, a lot of things changed when I decided that I'm only going to, or everything I create is going to contribute to me as much as it's going to contribute to anybody else. Right. And for me, it was shifting into a place of detachment. It was resting more and prioritizing rest a lot more. It was focusing more on my needs. And honestly, the more selfish I got, the easier it became for me to attract in money. And I had to really heal my relationship with money. I was doing the classic projecting on money, blaming money for things. I had to really sit with money and see it as a spirit guide, right? Or a best friend, and think about how am I talking to you? How am I treating you? Right. And I had to look at money. I was afraid to look at my bank account. I got annoyed when I had to, look at things for taxes. And I started to notice all of these spaces where I was pushing money away, where I didn't want to deal with it. And then I was expecting it to want to hang out with me. I always say, like, you don't ever want to hang out with somebody who's talking crap about you behind your back. And how many of us are talking crap about money and then we want it to come to us. Right. So I really spent a long time on my relationship with money. And that's something that I'm really proud of now. Like me and money are besties. And I think that's something that, it is a healer in so many areas of our lives. I realized that my relationship with money was mirroring my friendships, my romantic relationships, my health, my physical body, my relationship with my body, my relationship with my parents, of course. And so money was just such a powerful healer for me. And to your point, I feel so passionately about, I always tell people, I say, I believe it's my responsibility to attract in as much money as possible because I know how to circulate it. I know how to manage it. I know how to keep putting it into high frequency hands. And that's how we change the world, and so it's like, if we know how to manifest, which we do, to me, it is my responsibility as a light worker, light leader to attract in money and work with it, so that we can heal the planet.
So great. Again, you guys rewind this, listen to it again, because what you just shared with us is, first of all, you are so grounded in it. I mean, there isn't even a question for me that you live it, because it's the way that you deliver it is just so powerful. So right there, it's like an activation in your delivery that is the truth that I know I'm aligned with, and everybody watching, if they choose to, this is where we're going in 2023.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? I love what you said. I'm going to create what's going to and again, I'm paraphrasing, and I'll tell you why. The conversation that I'm having about the exchange and creation, it has to fulfill me as much as it fulfills you. So when I create it, I love it. It doesn't matter if you buy. When you buy it, you are fulfilled by it. It doesn't matter to me if you buy it. You are fulfilled by buying it or investing in it, right? I love that you said that, because that's such a space of freedom. I'm going to create what's coming through me, and I'm going to trust it. Because there is this conversation in a traditional business world, and it's still, there is a lot of it even in the spiritual business world, creating to what people are needing right now, like looking for the holes in the market, right? Do you resonate with that at all? Where does that fit in your plan?
You know, what's so funny is because I used to focus on business coaching
Mm-hmm.
specifically for a while. And so much of what I taught at that time, I honestly don't resonate with anymore. So I ended up taking down my business program and everything because I thought this all has to be updated. And at that time, it was resonant. At that time on the planet, it was resonant.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like where we're at now, where we're headed, like I want to be, marketing or running my business in a way that is future oriented. I don't want to play into how we're at right now. Like we align ourselves with the future timeline by living it right now, and I think there is a space of, like what are the needs that need to be filled? So for me, I'm thinking about with certain topics, like what's going to be most helpful for the people in my community. If I, what are they struggling with? Like, how can I support them? It's coming from that place of support. And at the same time, what's going to fill me up, in the way I talk about it, in the way I offer it. It has to be something that I would do whether or not, like you said, anybody would buy or anybody would watch. Otherwise, I'm going to feel really resentful. So I think that, from that angle of what's going to be most supportive of people, like I totally resonate with that. I think from the space of like looking at where's the hole and where can I just, make some money, I don't necessarily resonate with that. Like, I just feel like at this point, if something is not aligned with your unique mission, it's just not going to work.
Yeah.
And so as long as you follow your unique mission and in your purpose, which is what you're passionate about, what you're curious about, what's lighting you up, right? What's bringing you joy to be in the process of creating, that is where the flow comes. And I think a lot of the problems have come from people trying to be someone else or thinking about it logically. What's going to make me money? What's going to work? What's this person doing that is working? And will that work for me? And I think we have to really get out of our logical minds and get into our heart space, because your unique gifts, abilities, your unique curiosities are aligning you with your unique mission. And if everybody aligns with their unique mission, then all of the needs of society are naturally filled.
Yeah. So again, mic drop. And what you said at the very beginning, aligning with the future. So as we present and market is the word, as we market our brilliance, presenting it from the future, creating the future perspective, that is just such a great way to, even if somebody is just starting out, such a great place for conscious awakened entrepreneurs to focus their writing, their offering from future creating. That is just right there. I'm going to rewatch it again because the way you said it, Christina, was very, very clear. Very beautiful, very clear. So I know we have a few more minutes, and I definitely want to. So many questions that are coming through for you because okay. So let me ask you this question. This is going to support those who maybe don't have a true clarity. They maybe haven't downloaded that technology or whatever it is that they're here to serve with, but something is happening in their life or has happened. Do you think that? And of course, there is no way to know, but I'm still going to ask a very unfair question. Do you think that your journey with your illness was a source and almost like, I'm just going to say it, the experience you needed to have in some way so you can create what you are creating now?
Oh, 100%. I believe that every single thing that comes up in our lives is a piece of the puzzle aligning us with our purpose. Right. And so we don't always see it in the moment, but I have seen how the different phases of my life and my business. And I think about, because I originally worked as a holistic nutritionist in the health and wellness space. And then I moved into the business space before I went all into channeling work, and spiritual work. And had I not had all those experiences with my body, I wouldn't have learned all of the skills I really needed to do my work now, and to channel information related to healing in the body, to have that compassion and empathy for people who are told they're crazy. And let me tell you, there are a lot of things people are experiencing now and are going to keep experiencing with their physical bodies that aren't going to make logical sense at all. And we need people who can see that perspective, right? Because you're not crazy, you're not wild. The stuff that worked before isn't going to work anymore because our bodies are changing. It's the same thing with business, and so I absolutely had to go through that. That was the thing that pushed me into my work now. And I know I'm clear in my mission now and why I signed up to be here. And I would never have gone down this path without my body screaming at me and really shutting down, and me having to do that inner work and realizing there was something so much bigger, you know? So I really believe that every single experience we have, honestly, I think is all part of the puzzle. That is, we're always being guided toward our purpose and our mission. So I absolutely am so grateful for that experience. And I mean, I would not be who I am without it.
Yeah, so great. I think that just supported somebody to hear that, because I agree with you. When we look backwards, we can say, okay, these are the experiences. I started as a holistic health coach too, by the way. I had no idea that I was even getting certified as a health coach. I went to school to learn how to feed myself, because my body, I have hormonal imbalance,
Yeah.
and diet was one of the ways that they said, heal it with diet. I'm like, I don't know. I just eat food, right? Nobody ever told me how to eat. All of a sudden, I found myself in school that certifies as a coach. I'm like, what is that about? I've never. So
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. When we finish, I want to ask you more about that, because it's such a curious place to start. And you're right. If I didn't go through that journey, it wouldn't have led me through all the steps that I am here now. So hopefully somebody who's watching right now, and either you're going through something challenging or you have gone through something challenging, there is wisdom in there for you. And if you don't know what your purpose is, go pull it from there with somebody's support, like Christina, like many other speakers. Go pull it from there and begin now. Because again, something you said several times in this conversation, the new technology, and this is for every industry. It's not just when it comes to healing our bodies, but I believe in every single industry, there is an up-leveling that's happening, and it's going to happen through people like you, like everybody who's watching right now. So great that you are saying it that way. It's just lands so perfectly. So I know you have a gift for us.
Yeah, I do. I do. And the gift is actually I have a money manifestation activation set, which I think would be really helpful for everyone
Great.
here. So it includes some channeled lessons on manifesting money, healing your relationship with money, as well as an energy healing session that's really powerful. So there's a whole energy clearing that will help just to recalibrate your body to be in alignment with money. So yeah, a couple of videos. It's really powerful stuff. And that's what we're going to gift to you.
So great. So you guys, button below this video, the golden button, press the button. But I want to give you an insight into what occurred in our conversation before we click the button. Christina was, we were confirming the gift that she was going to gift you. And we decided that we're going to choose the gift. She's going to choose the gift based on where the conversation goes. And thank you for trusting, because clearly you trusted yourself, and you even asked yourself, right, in a moment, what is most fitting right now? And the reason why I share it with you who's watching right now is because this is the perfect example of how to trust yourself in the moment and deliver what's needed. I love it.
100%. Thank you. Amazing.
So great. So make sure you claim the gift, press the golden button below the video, claim this clearly divinely sourced gift just for you. Have a shift around money so you can lead and thrive and serve those you are here for. Thank you, Christina. I am so grateful for your gift of being here in the salon and your wisdom. Your energy is, first of all, your confidence is unparalleled. So everything you say comes from this very grounded knowing, which is activating in itself. So thank you for being a yes and bringing your wisdom and your gift to Salon.
Thank you so much. This was amazing. And I just really appreciate you, your energy, and you putting this together, because this is just so important at this time on the planet. So thank you. Thank you for including me.
Beautiful. Thank you. Make sure you claim Christina's gift. Press the button, click the button, claim your gift. We'll see you at the next conversation. Bye for now.